Howdy, folks. Howdy. Why is this... When I come back to this story, it always feels like I'm coming back to it after a long absence. Almost like I put it away in some drawer and forgot about it for like 10 years or something. I don't know why. I never have that feeling with any other story so far. Maybe because I'm worried this is a sequel to a story I haven't finished yet. You know, it's kind of weird to write about the post-war of something that you're still working on. But, you know, this story took a life of its own. She appeared out of a purple portal about the size of a door. The door. She just stepped through like it was any ordinary opening. In fact, she came through. In fact, the portal appeared right in front of the actual doors to the meeting. A much less impressive set of stained oak doors. Yeah, the ones at my town hall. Went to the town hall yesterday. Very lovely place. Just like how I picture the town hall in Raccoon City to look. But they want to film a zombie movie. I think my area would be a good place to do it. Let's see. Well, Helmina wasn't Mina. Clearly appeared. Well, Helmina did this entrance just for show. She wasn't coming from a great distance. She had arrived at the Canadian HQ earlier via a similar portal. She just appeared among the guards, MPs and other troops, armed troops about the perimeter, and they didn't do anything stupid like aim their weapons her way. Weapons their way. Her way. Well, Helmina then went to the main administrative building, and she had spent her time and waited for the meeting, the men to assemble for the meeting. As far as anyone could tell, all she did was sit on some couch and read through a book. And read through some history book. Well, Helmina was likely quite intelligent, but she lacked the schooling of her sister, Dominique, who was a scientist on top of experimenter. I'll show off the alternate word. That's the word for scientist in this universe. Thank you very much. It was an experiment. I also changed the word sister to sister with a C instead of an S. Just one C, though. Should I have done both C's? Turned both C's into... both S's into C's? I don't know. Maybe someone would have done it. It was an experimenter on top of all of her amazing powers. I even wondered if the girl... Helmina had a bit of inferiority complex. The blue maiden, that otherworldly Worldly, superhuman. Superhuman. Human. Similar in power to both Wilhelmina and Dominique. Was allegedly a scientist as well. Wilhelmina showed up at the meeting in a purple Victorian-like dress with strong, puffy shoulders and both black and white trim. She didn't show up some fancy hat bonnet, or she didn't show up with some fancy bonnet. She allowed her black hair to flow wild. Her milk pale skin almost looked too delicate for the sunny outside. Then imagined her skin turning red from too much exposure in a vampire sort of way. It's in a vampiric sort of way. Red and burned. Yes. Let's see. Wilhelmina. Delicate. Looking. Hands were concealed in a pair of black leather gloves. Her feet were adorned with what looked like jackboots. Perhaps swiped from, let's see, jackboots. Boots, right place. In my other story, I'm adding in, like, the fictional language for some bits, like, you know, like, just, like, see, this is what the word for jackboots is in this German-type language. I'm not sure. The German language in this universe is kind of strange. It doesn't, it's very different. The French and the German languages are kind of similar, looking at my notes, so I put them together. So I put the notes separate, so I don't get confused. I know this is for Bloodcom, this is for Celian, the French. Perhaps swipe from some unfortunate dead Jade soldier. Donovan hoped she remembered to pour the ashes out after she vaporized him. Donovan, for reasons, kept imagining her with bare feet sticking out of that fancy Victorian dress. He wasn't sure why. He had a feeling that she had very attractive feet. Oh, Mr. Donovan, do you have a foot fetish? Don't let the Russians find out about that. They'll blackmail you. I don't know if that kind of stuff was... I don't think the fetishes of any kind were tolerated back in 1948. Besides the one that's, oh, I like beautiful women. Oh, me too. And maybe skin, like attractive shade of skin. Back then, you know, the view was the whiter, the better, I think. And so, I guess a vampire was like the ultimate beauty to men back then. These days, people have a more varied preference, including myself. So sometimes I like the idea of a milk pale, elf almost looking girl in a story, like this girl here, for example. Did I mention her raven hair? Should I change that to raven hair? Yeah. Nothing quite like a raven-haired girl. That's what I don't understand about anime. Give the girls all kinds of weird hair colors in Japan. To me, black hair is just, you know, great. Just have that. It's their fault for having... I guess it's their fault they have to give the different haircuts and hair colors because they only have... The girls often only have one kind of face, you know? It'd be better if they did change it up a little bit, you know? I think you know... Maybe the art style needs a little improvement. Let's see. Red hair is probably more realistic, though I don't know how many red-haired Japanese girls there are. Probably much more brown-haired girls, in general, and in Japan. But I'm pretty sure most of them have black hair. Let's see. I mean, I had a lovely face. A thin nose. Big, deep blue eyes. Deep blue eyes. An oval face. And full pink lips. Let's see, full pink lips or white lips? White lips. White lips. And full, very pale pink lips. Whenever I say pink lips, I always think of something more vulgar. Almina was never considered to be, he had the sort of face you'd expect to see in some grand old portrait of some beautiful queen in her youth. Yeah, those portraits were quite flattering. Like that portrait of Wilhelmina, like the young portrait of Wilhelmina from the Netherlands. Ooh, be still my beating heart. She was quite good looking. A shame that she was a bit older and more matrony at the time of World War II. But you know, that's how aging works. I believe, what is it? Some European women, they just, you know, they just don't age that well. And, I'm not sure why that is. Compared to, like, Asian women or African women. Many Asian and African women age, well, they're almost like elves in that way, I guess. It's kind of interesting. Of course, someday they'll crack the code for aging and nobody will age. We'll all age like elves. Then it won't be such a big to-do. Considered having a world where nobody aged beyond 20, like so everyone in the world looked young until they died. That was just like, I don't know, a different thing, I guess. Just to be different. But it's too late to incorporate that into any of these stories, unless I went and deleted every reference to wrinkles and gray hair. Many people could still get gray hair eventually, even though they would still have, like, youthful features, you know. I was never considered to be a nudist. She, I remembered hearing that she spent a lot of time, that years ago, during World War III, she was often seen wearing a very simple sort of thin dress, almost like a nightgown, in her trademark color of purple. Let's see. She was often bare-armed, bare-legged, and bare-footed. Huh. That's one word. Don't you love English? Is this one word or two? Oh, it's one word. That's great. Sometimes I wonder if there's any consistent rules to English, because it seems like the rules of English have changed a lot since Shakespeare's time. It's amazing how the language has evolved. If human beings evolved like language did, humans would be like, you'd go from like a duck-looking creature to a monkey to a fish to a horse, then to a human again, then to a duck, and it just changes so much through the years. It's probably the same in many languages. I doubt that French and German, didn't they just standardize those languages like only like a century ago or two? And before that, there were many different dialects of French and English. Cajun is like a mutation of French, I think. She was bare-legged, bare-chested. It seemed that since World War III, Wilhelmina had become more conservative in her attire. It was hard to guess at Wilhelmina's age. She looked to be around 20 at the oldest, but being born in 15, that meant she was actually 33. An old lady. An old lady by marrying age standards, I guess. Let's see, I become more conservative in her attire, as though to show her maturity. Perhaps some of Dominique's fashion sense. Rubbed off on her. Dominique was quite well known for her Archness attire. Yeah, this is quite an exciting part, isn't it, folks? I'm gonna get to write a bit of an action sequence later, but not in this session. It's just people sitting around a table talking. Kind of like, at, fellowship meeting in Lord of the Rings, I guess. Was quite well known for her Archness attire and tendency to remain masked, though her glowing green eyes were often still visible through said masks. Donovan wondered for sure that was intentional on Dominique's part. Wilhelmina making a stance on exiting the portal was relaxed. She surveyed the room with her big, beautiful eyes. There was something alien. Is she an alien beauty? I don't know. Alien beauty. I don't know. There are some people who really do have, like, alien kind of features in my view, but something otherworldly about them. You should get guys and gals like that to play aliens in movies, when they have the human-like aliens. Sometimes I have to discuss the pitfalls of having a bad guy turn into a big alien monster at the end of the story, or, because, or reveal that their true form is a big ugly alien, because, you kind of lose that human edge, and it can, affect audience, investment, I think, and you've gone from fighting mentally, you've gone from fighting a person to fighting some big animal thing. I think that's how the underlying psychology of it, but I'm not sure. There was some alien element to her expression, to her cool expression. And Donovan, for a moment, almost felt like he was in the presence of a diplomat from some alien or long-gone race. Like she was some elven diplomat. Or there's some elven princess coming to make peace with mankind. But the actual elves are long gone from Earth. At least from this part of the world. For all Donovan and the people of this unknown world, as far as Donovan knew, Donovan only knew the situation in the known world. Perhaps beyond the endless seas, the entire world was ruled by pointed-eared elven folk. Wilhelmina's ears were usually hidden behind her long unkempt black hair. But Donovan saw it. She looked around, saw them. As she looked about the room, she had normal, round ears, not pointed in this even slightly. You're no elf, Donovan thought. Wilhelmina finally closed the portal behind her. It made no sound. Entrance. Purple, seemingly made of fire. And it closed up. And despite its fiery nature, it left no burns or any damage to the room's carpets. Wilhelmina crossed her arms. It was clear that leaving that portal open like that had no consequence for Wilhelmina. She didn't need to close it quickly to keep her strength up. Donovan imagined she could have kept said portal open for 100 years if she wanted. Maybe indefinitely. Let's see, portal filled with energy. Couldn't see through it. Yeah. Wilhelmina crossed her arms. Which Donovan noticed seemed pretty slim and girly. No sign that she had been. Wilhelmina was not an Amazonian type woman, but it didn't look like she left her body to wither while she focused on her grand powers. Gentlemen, where shall I sit? Wilhelmina asked the men before her. See, are there any women at this meeting? None besides Wilhelmina, I guess. Okay, I think I've shilled Wilhelmina enough. I kind of like shilling her. I feel like making up to her after she's mostly absent from the previous story, except at the intro in Poland. And Maybe I gotta come up with something for her to do in that story. Maybe some flashback part, I don't know. Because there's a big plot twist related to her. But anyway, folks, I digress. Have a nice day.